Hi, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, something that I want to talk about real quick is my year-long mentorship program, Unlimited. This is just a beautiful program. It is honestly where confidence and ambition really meet. And what we really do inside is that we help you become unrecognizable over the next year. We go all in on your health. We go all in on your mental wealth. We go all in on your emotional wealth, all in on your experiential and financial wealth. And this is really good for the people who have been hesitating, who have been holding back a little bit, who are, they're fine, they're doing well, they're confident, but they're not really stepping into that unapologetic level. They're not stepping into that unrecognizable level. They're not stepping into the level where their confidence, their ambition, their self-respect, their self-belief, self-trust, discipline is translating into the kind of results that they know they want and that they already have the potential for. That is what this program is. And we have had, I think it's like 6 or 7 now. I think it's 7. 6 or 7 people hop in over the last month, and it's just been so amazing. And a comment that we very often get right at the jump, and we've already gotten with this new set of girls joining, is that they can't believe how much it feels like home. They can't believe how nervous they really were, and how within the first call, within the first week, they know they're exactly where they need to be. And I think that feeling is so special because when you surround yourself with a group of people where you're like, oh shit, these are going to be the people that help me get where I want to go, that are going to call me up, call me forward, call me out, really help me. It's just such a special feeling. And I have just a little light bonuses on the back end. They're actually pretty exciting, but and bonuses on the back end. So if you are wanting to join, now is really a good time. So if you're an audacious and you want to upgrade, if you're in my audience and you want to dive in, if you are someone who, you know what, you want a community, you want to stop playing small, you want to be mentored each and every single day, Unlimited is a perfect place to start. And this next podcast that you're going to be hearing is a topic that we talk about in my membership Audacious. It's a topic that we're talking about in Unlimited. And I thought, you know what? Let's just bring it here. So let's dive in. Hello, my beautiful people. I think there are a lot of subtle, shady thoughts and habits we have that we normalize. And we often do it knowing that they're not great. We know that. We know this, but not realizing how much that they're actually holding us back. And I was going to make a piece of content on this, but I was like, you know what? Let me just turn this into my little thing. And we'll talk about it here. And the topic where I started with this is I have been able to make over 7 figures in my 20s by making sure these are habits and thoughts not happening, by unnormalizing them. So if you have any of these things going on, absolutely make it a priority to not do them anymore and unnormalize them, okay? So the first one is, it's simple. You know I'm going to say it. Just think about what you think I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to say it, but the first one is allowing myself to regularly second guess myself, my worth, my abilities. Like, I don't want you guys to get in the habit of second guessing yourselves, your worth, or how capable you are. And I know that's a broad category, but it's just like we do it in such small ways. And that's the thing that I think gets people the most is we don't realize how chronically and extensively we do this. I want you to just try and get in the habit of noticing where you are second guessing yourself, where you are wondering of like, am I worthy or deserving of this? Or you are really almost like measuring up your own capabilities, because capabilities I get, like you might not have the skills to do something right now, but we take that really personally and we make it a personal problem rather than just realizing it's a skills gap. And a skills gap is no big deal. It's just about solving it. So I want you to get in the habit of cleaning this up immediately. It should be and here's why people don't do it. People don't take this more seriously because we don't understand the cost of it. But if I just take my own life, if I just take my own transformation as an example, again, I was 23 years old in a unhealthy relationship, in actual toxic relationships at work, and in really bad situations. I was so insecure. I was living at home. I felt so lost. I felt like the most unlikable, unspecial, uninteresting person in the world. And a year later, I had a business teaching people how to be confident around the world. Why? Because I took this more seriously than anyone I know. And it's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of like focus. It's not a lot of to-dos. It's just prioritizing the growth that you want to have. And it's that simple. So really get yourself in the habit of making sure that you're not questioning yourself. And if you hear that, shifting out of it. And inside my programs, you guys know what I teach with the 2% and with the MET and all these little concepts I have of really rewiring how you see yourself, the identity, how you regard yourself, how you show up, how you treat yourself, how you present yourself, all these things. Get in the habit of not questioning yourself. The second thing, this one is not something that people are going to like, but that's why we have to do it. I have seen recently this almost, and I've never really had words for it, but these are my words for it. I have words for it now. I've seen this thing where people tend to hide behind their self-doubt, but pretend it's self-awareness. So there is a whole group of people in my DMs who come and start as clients. And a lot of them don't ever join my world because of their egos, but they say these are the people who claim they're so self-aware. They know everything. They're super self-aware of their problems. They've done all the personal development work, but then they finish it off by telling me how stuck they are. Oftentimes these people are saying how self-aware they are, but really what it is they're just hiding. They're using self-awareness as a mask for their self-doubt. So whenever people come to me and tell me, like, I know what to do, I know what my problems are, I'm super self-aware, but you're not actually solving the problems, that tells me that there's more ego going on and there's a lot of self-doubt going on that they actually have no idea how to solve. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well? Do I not have words for this yet? I thought I had words. I hope this makes sense. But what often happens is that we over-intellectualize the growth so much. We almost like stockpile all the knowledge, know all the personal development things, know how we're self-sabotaging, know what our problem is, know how to get where we want to go. We know. But it's like if you're not actually doing it, you don't actually know. You're just trying to protect yourself and almost like armor yourself up by knowing. But the truth is that you really doubt yourself, that you really question yourself. And these are the people who, if you're doing this, you don't want to admit that because that would be real vulnerable. And that would mean you're not perfect. And that would mean that you actually probably don't have as much figured out as you want to claim. And I've been this person, you guys. It's like so skin crawling uncomfortable to hear this if this is going on for you. But I think it's really important that, like, I'm not saying you're not self-aware. You are. Like, everyone in my world tends to be pretty self-aware. It's not about that. It's more around, like, we have to actually be able to strengthen our emotional intelligence so that we can see the emotions that we're having, so that we can see the patterns that we're having, so that we can actually get at the root and solve the self-doubt. You don't have to feel perfect. And the people who are operating from ego, and trust me, I've operated from ego. Like I've done it. I did it for the start of last year. My God, I was so in my ego. It was such a problem. But when you're operating from that much ego and you're claiming but things aren't changing, well, tend to be the people who are most in, not most, I won't actually, I was going to say most insecure, but I'm not going to say that. Those are the people who are spending so much energy trying to make sure that their insecurities are covered up. But when you're spending all your time covering up your insecurities, what are you not doing? You're not solving your insecurities. Okay. I'll say for this group too, I'll just add a little caveat on, and you've got to get out of this as well. If you're really wanting to have the bigger success, if you're really wanting to be that kind of person who follows through, who has high standards, who's just so confident and so like humble at the same time, you know what I mean? If you are someone who you are self-aware of your problems and you're maybe not in the over intellectualization, you're maybe not in the ego, but don't be the kind of person who, and audit yourself if you are, and this isn't bad, it's just something to know. There is another whole group of people that is kind of similar who they'll come to me and be like, I can't be in the same place, Mackenzie. Like I cannot be in the same place in 6 months. I can't keep being this person. I can't keep staying stuck. I know what my problems are and like I know what's going on, but I just like I can't stay stuck. But then you stay doing the exact same patterns, thinking about yourself the same way, not changing anything in your comfort zone. Like this conversation comes up a lot with investing actually, where people want to tell me how badly they want to be in a different place, but then their fear stops them from investing. And so they don't, therefore, often staying in the same place, not because they didn't invest, they didn't address the problem. They end up just coming back to me anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, 18 months sometimes the longest I've had, I think, is like 2 years, 3 years. Coming back later and being like, "Hey, I'm actually still in the exact same place. I'm ready to do this now." I realized that I said I wanted to be different, and I said I was done being stuck, and I said I was sick of my shit. But I actually wasn't. I kept choosing my comfort zone, and that takes a lot of humility and strength to do that. And so I'm always so proud of those people. But name that if that's going on for you. We got that one? Okay. Next one is not keeping my word to myself. If that's something going on, address it, please. Not keeping your word to yourself, negotiating yourself out of taking action, thinking your excuses are legit. This whole realm is the fastest way to erode your confidence, your self-worth, and your self-trust. And I think it's the thing that people often do the most. Perfect example of this is that I just got done doing my 30K in March. And when I say 30K, just to be clear with everyone, I ran 30K across all of March. Like I'm not a runner, okay? I did not run 30K all in one go. But I did that to face discomfort because I'm not someone who really likes running that. It's where all my quitting tendencies, my negotiation, my, thinking my excuses are legit comes out. And so that's why I did it. I told my coach, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna take 12 weeks to train for a 10K. And she was like, no, 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 do it this week. And I was like, oh no. And did I tell her no? Of course not. I'm gonna do it. But I went and I noticed every single excuse, every single negotiation, every single way that I wanted to back out of that. I think what people are often doing is they're actually just buying into that. They don't even hear it as the excuse, the negotiation, the lack of self-trust that it often is. And so how I dealt with this, just so you guys can see, I took inventory of the thoughts that came up and then I kind of studied them. I notice them. I don't actually actively buy into them, invest in them, think them. Okay. If that makes sense. So my first thought was like, no, 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 no. She doesn't understand. Like, I can barely do 3K. Right. And that's me trying to back myself out of it. And then my next one, and this was convincing. I was like, okay, well, I did a 5K that one time and all in like, right. Last time we did this, she told me to run a 5K in 1 week and I hadn't ever run like even a mile basically in years. And I did that, but then I avoided running for months. So what if I do a 10K and then avoid it for months again? And I was like, I really don't want to do that. Like, I want to keep running. You see how that's like almost a convincing thing? See, it's just like, okay. And then I hear those things and I'm like, oh, what if we just actually do it? And then I talk myself into it, right? And then the other thing that I went into is I was like, okay, if I end up even training for running, if I train, and then I think the other thing she told me was you're gonna do the 10K and then you're gonna train for a half marathon. And this is just like so Mackenzie from even a year ago would crack up at this. But my immediate thought with that one was like, no, 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 no. This is not TMI at all for me, but if you're my family, that's a male or a male listening, maybe it is. But anyway, my immediate thought was like, no, my boobs are already shrinking from running in March and I hate that. Like, doing this is going to change my body even more. I like actually really believe that. I actually don't want them to get any smaller. But then it's like, then I noticed myself, I was like, that's just another negotiation because I said I wanted to get leaner. I didn't want my boobs to get smaller, but like, I can't really control that. So this is just another excuse. It's just another excuse because I don't want to do it. I don't really want to be uncomfortable in that way. And I don't want to have to run 10K this week. So it's like, I'm not going to buy into those though, because buying into those would be the fastest way to erode my confidence and erode my self-worth and erode my self-trust. So it's like, I want you to start noticing when you're having those thoughts and rather than thinking them and keep going down those paths, just see them. Just see them for what they are. Just watch them pass by, study them, get curious about where they come from. And I'm almost going to do this into the fourth one that I want to talk about because these two are so similar in some ways, is avoiding discomfort. Like, that's the thing that you have to break the habit of doing, is avoiding discomfort. And so this is the good example with the running. I do my best to run towards discomfort. And the more that I do, the more successful I am. And even with this whole run 10K thing this week, it's like, I so badly would love to avoid this. I would so badly love to negotiate myself out of this. I would so badly love to have all these excuses. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my word to myself and do this because I recognize if I can get myself to do this, even if it's really awful, like even if it's a horrible, horrible time, it's going to make me a better person. It's going to make me a stronger person. It's going to make me a more confident person. It's going to make me a more disciplined person. All I will have to do is get through to be able to get to the other side where, let me even go through this. It will raise my confidence because I will take an action. And you will never build confidence while sitting on the sidelines. You just can't do it. And that's why it's like so much of what I do and what we do in Audacious is not just like mindset stuff. It's actual action and building of it, because you cannot build confidence simply by trying to change your thoughts. You can, but it has to be followed with action. Otherwise, what are we doing? You're never going to get better at a skill by just thinking about doing it. Like, you got to actually go out and do it, right? Of course, you can visualize I'm getting into the nitty gritty now, but it's like, you're not going to be the best player while sitting on the sidelines. That's really what I'm saying. And that's why Audacious is so much of, yes, the mindset, but also the building of it with it. It's the action. It's not just like thinking yourself and like fluffing yourself into confidence. It is the like actual brick by brick building of it. Okay. So it's going to make me more confident because I'm taking action. It's going to make me feel so 10 million times better about myself from trying and doing it and realizing that like I'm the kind of person who steps up rather than backs down. Again, for that hour-ish that it's going to take, it's probably going to suck. But I don't want to be a person who avoids things that are just uncomfortable, right? Or avoids things that, if we take a different route of like, people avoid things that they think they're going to be bad at, or people avoid things that they think they're going to be judged for. And it's like, am I really going to not do this because it's going to be 1 hour of intense physical discomfort, but there's so many benefits to it? And the people who avoid things that are uncomfortable and things that they're bad at and things that they could be judged for are the same people who are sitting frustrated that they're not further. So it's like, you got to start leaning into discomfort rather than away from it. And so much of what we talk about in any program that you join of mine is this idea of increasing your discomfort tolerance, because what that does is expand your capacity to tolerate more bigger emotions. And when you can do that, you can be more successful, because I think a lot of times the more you want to create, the bigger you want to go, the bigger the challenges that come with it. And when you can increase your tolerance for handling that, things that seem really terrifying to you right now, as you expand your discomfort tolerance, they actually stop being scary, because you're like, oh, I now have the capacity to hold this. Does that make sense? Okay, next one. Last one, actually. We'll end it here. The last one is, you have to get out and break the habit of letting fear decide what you do and don't do. The thing is that a lot of people don't pursue what they want and just keep overthinking it. That's because of fear. Quick to quit behaviors, because of fear. Someone who stays almost like perpetually in planning mode, fear. Procrastination, it's usually avoidance caused by some sort of fear. And then what you do is that when you continually let fear decide what you do and don't do, you'll often surround yourself with people who uphold this habit too. You'll be a follower. And then what happens is, like, you don't challenge yourself because you're not even surrounding yourself with people who are challenging yourself. You've got to make sure that you are in control of your emotions. Your emotions are not controlling you. Because when your emotions end up controlling you and whiplashing you one way and another, and it doesn't have to be this dramatic thing like you're a volatile person or you're super reactive and yell a lot. It can just simply be it's very easy to shake you, right? You can be feeling happy, and then one thing happens on social media. You'll get a text, right? Your boss says something at work, and all of a sudden you're like a little huffed up, or you're feeling anxious. That's what I mean too. But when you have this happen, it's really hard for you to create what you want because you're just at the whim of your emotions. Okay. So you have to make sure that you are in control of those emotions, and you enter such like an elite space of disciplined and confident and cool, calm, collected when you're able to do that too. So if you have one of these, did I say 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 things. If you have these 5 things going on, I want you to stop wondering why you don't have the business, the income, the relationships, the body, the lifestyle you want. Because these 5 are probably behind it. And you don't have to do all these all perfectly, right? Like I told you guys, I think it was like the ego one I had going on parts of last year. It's just, you want to get yourself out of the habit. You want to break this as a habit. You don't want it to be a pattern. You don't want it to be a habit. You don't want it to be a cycle. You might get into it for a season or so, right? You don't want it, but like it happens. But if you have these going on, these 5, do not wonder why you don't have what you want. It's one of these 5, right? And the silliest part of all of this is that you're already so capable. You always have been. It's just about who you're being, the level of confidence, the certainty, the regulation, the discipline, the self-trust. And it's like when we're in these habits, we're not being the kind of person that we need to be in order to get the results that we're already capable of. And I want you to feel really called up and called forward by that and excited by that. Because these are, while they're heavy things and while, it's not like so straightforward as like 1 + 1 = 2, they are things that are really exciting to change. They feel really good to change, and they're not that hard to change when you know how to do it. That's what I'll say. Okay. So that's what I really want you focusing on. If you're like, yeah, okay, I really do want to dive deep on these, then there's 2 options for you. Number 1 is, well, I'll say this, there's 3 options. Number 1, you can keep working on it alone, right? But if you haven't solved it yet, I don't know if doing the same, more of the same is really going to get you there. Number 2, you can come join my year-long mentorship, Unlimited. In this program, it is all around making you unrecognizable in the next 6 months and then taking the second half of the year-long program to just go further than possible. And we really help you become that cool, calm, collected, confident, certain, regulated, disciplined person who trusts themselves and really goes all in on what they want. And we teach you the skills, we teach you the confidence, and I am mentoring you every single day in there for 365 days to get you where you want to go. And people have tripled their income. They've done way more than that too. Tripled their income. They've moved abroad. They have paid off all their debt. They've started writing novels. They've gotten their highest career salaries. Like they've just done really beautiful things inside there. And it's all this idea of when you build up your emotional wealth and how confident you are and all these things, it bleeds into every other area of life, your financial wealth, your physical wealth, your experiential wealth. Like it's just a really great program and it has the best community. So that's option 2. Option 3 is you can join the 50+ members inside my membership, Audacious, and where we get you to your most audacious, ambitious self within 90 days. That one's a little more self-led. You do get the videos from me, new videos every single day. It's like this big vault of videos. It's really beautiful. People love, love, love it. And if you're like, I want to dip my toes in first, that's a really good place to start. But if you are someone where you're like, no, I want to go fast. I want to be unrecognizable. I want to work closely with you and get my butt kicked all the time and really step up, then Unlimited's your move. But Audacious is so beautiful too. And honestly, people do insane things there. Just this week, someone has, within 3 months of her being inside, she went from unemployed to getting a new salary in a new state that is even higher than the salary she was hoping for and in the state that she's always wanted to move. People have doubled their income inside there as well. Someone doubled it within the first month of being inside. Like people just do really beautiful things, right? So you can come DM me on Instagram if you want to talk about which space is going to be better for you. There are different investment levels as well, but it's really just what you're looking for. So I would love to help you with this. You can do this, I promise. And I can't wait to catch you guys in the next episode, but don't go yet. I would love for you to take a screenshot, as always, and post on your stories, tag me, leave a review, rating if you love this episode, and I will actually officially now catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you so, so, so much for listening.